Competition, people get upset when they lose, and you can't. Some people say bad things. She told me I have no class, I have no education, and to see what happens when we get outside the U.S. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I beat her in Canada outside the U.S. I beat her in New York outside the U.S. So let's see what else she has to say.
Serena Williams has never been the type to sit back quietly when another player is getting attacked, especially when it's about race. The latest chaos in tennis has everyone's jaw on the floor because Taylor Townsend just got slammed with racist comments from none other than Jelena Ostapenko, and the entire stadium froze in shock. Now Serena's name is caught right in the middle of this storm, with fans demanding answers and even whispering if Ostapenko could actually be banned over what went down. This wasn't just another heated US Open spat. This was raw, and it cut deep. From the moment Taylor walked off the court with her win, you could feel the tension shift like a bomb about to explode. Ostapenko didn't just lose a match. She lost her cool. She locked eyes with Taylor and spat venom, calling her no class, no education, then dropped a chilling warning. We'll see what happens outside the US. The entire crowd gasped because everyone knew exactly what that meant. That wasn't regular trash talk. That was a straight-up threat hiding behind fake shade, and it shook the whole arena.
I can't speak on what her intentions were. I can only speak on how I handled the situation. And how I handled it is someone who's upset about the outcome that occurred.
And here's why it hit so different. Tennis has a long, ugly history of coded digs against black women. Don't forget, Serena had her catsuit banned. Venus was mocked for her body and hair. It's been a non-stop battle just to exist on the court. So when Ostapenko threw those words at Taylor, it wasn't just about one match. It echoed decades of disrespect. Tennis loves to sell itself as polished, proper, and elite. But behind the crisp white skirts and country club smiles, there's been bias, snubs, and racist undertones running deep. The sting of Ostapenko's words carried all of that history right back to the surface. Now the question burning through the sport, will the tennis world finally step up and hold someone accountable? Or will this get swept under the rug like so many times before? Because let's be real, this wasn't just two athletes trading words. This moment cracked open a long, painful history of black women being labeled angry, classless, or uneducated, no matter how much grace they carry on the court.
Like genuinely asking me about the history of Ostapenko, I don't think that's the craziest thing she said. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's ill timing and the worst person you could have ever said it to. And I don't know if she knows the history of it in America. But I know she's never gonna say that ever again in her life. But yeah, I mean, it was just terrible.
Ostapenko's words slid perfectly into that tired old playbook, and Black Twitter caught it instantly. They dissected the dog whistles in real time, and trust me, they weren't letting Ostapenko slide for even a second. Within minutes, clips of the exchange were flooding timelines, hashtags were exploding, and the receipts were everywhere. Fans weren't holding back. They called it exactly what it was. Not trash talk, but racially loaded shade hiding under the thin mask of tennis etiquette. One tweet snapped, "Being a sore loser and then trying to insult someone is the definition of no class." Another dragged her with, "Ostapenko should be fined yet again for unsportsmanlike behavior." And someone else went in, "Why is she not being fined?" Mad as hell, acting like a toddler. Why are you even in a competitive sport if you can't accept defeat? The dragging was ruthless, and Ostapenko was trending for all the wrong reasons. But things really hit a new level when Naomi Osaka stepped up to the mic during her press conference. And let's be real, Naomi doesn't sugarcoat a thing. She didn't just call out the incident, she dropped a bombshell. She hinted this wasn't Ostapenko's first time being shady, saying straight up that there's a pattern.
I think being black in America is, I mean, there's definitely a lot, and not just being a regular person, even in sports. I mean, you feel like you have to be, twice as good to get that recognition.
Ostapenko has thrown slick comments before, and the tennis world just hasn't been paying close enough attention. Naomi didn't just defend Taylor, she explained why those words cut so deep. She laid it out plain. Tennis has always been a sport where black women have to work twice as hard to get half the respect. This wasn't just about one match. It was about decades of a system built against them. And hearing Naomi, a Grand Slam champion with global influence, say it so bluntly sent shockwaves through tennis. Serena Williams was branded angry every time she dared show emotion. Venus Williams was painted cold just for being quiet and focused. And Coco Gauff, she's been mocked as too cocky every time she celebrates a hard-earned win. So when Naomi stood up and called it all out, she wasn't just protecting Taylor. She was tearing the lid off a dirty system of coded racism that's been haunting tennis for decades. And that crowd in the stands? Oh, what went down there was just as historic. Normally, tennis crowds are calm, polite claps, hushed whispers, champagne in hand, trying not to wrinkle their Lacoste polos. But this time, the vibe flipped completely. Fans were on their feet, shouting, hyped up for Taylor like it was a block party colliding with a Grand Slam final. The atmosphere went from country club quiet to full-on street celebration, and that shift showed just how powerful this moment really was. But here's where it truly exploded. People thought the drama would die down once the match ended. But nope. The real firestorm lit up the second Serena Williams' name got pulled into the mix. Suddenly, it wasn't just Taylor versus Ostapenko. It was history itself being dragged back into the spotlight. Serena's entire career of surviving the same coded jabs came rushing into the conversation. Because she's been living this battle for decades. Serena has carried the weight of constant disrespect, sly, backhanded comments dressed up as etiquette. Every victory she fought for came with people trying to twist her strength into anger or her passion into rage. And now, watching Taylor face that same storm, the parallels were impossible to ignore. The outrage hit harder than ever. Anyone who's followed tennis even a little knows this playbook because we've seen it before with Serena Williams. Flashback to the 2009 US Open semifinal against Kim Clijsters. Serena got slapped with a controversial foot fault call, and in the heat of the moment, she snapped at the line judge with that now infamous threat. "I'll stuff this ball down your throat, I swear." The crowd gasped, the cameras zoomed in, and the very next day, the media tore her apart. Headlines branded her angry, unruly, disrespectful. But here's the double standard. John McEnroe could smash rackets, scream at officials, drop every curse word in the book, and somehow he was celebrated as fiery, rebellious, a competitor who kept the sport exciting. Serena did half of that and she was vilified. That's the bias she carried every single time she stepped onto the court. And that's exactly why her name being tied to this Taylor versus. Ostapenko mess felt so symbolic because when the Williams legacy lined up with Taylor Townsend, it wasn't just casual support. It was history coming full circle. It felt like a torch being passed. Serena's career was built on breaking down barriers, and now Taylor is standing in that same fire, facing the same coded attacks Serena fought for decades. The whole moment felt generational, like history linking arms. And then came Venus Williams, the quiet assassin of the Williams dynasty, stepping in with her voice after a doubles win with Leylah Fernandez. Reporters asked her about the drama, and Venus handled it with her trademark grace. Calm, measured, elegant. She didn't need to raise her voice to shake the room. She stood in support of Taylor while keeping her dignity sharp, reminding everyone once again that she's the cool storm, balancing Serena's fire. But while Venus stayed classy, the internet? Oh, the internet went in with zero chill. Memes, tweets, clapbacks, all ruthless. Social media detectives wasted no time pulling receipts, and the dirt was ugly. Fans dug up old clips of Ostapenko, smashing rackets like a rock star on meltdown mode, screaming at umpires and flat-out disrespecting opponents on the regular. This wasn't just a bad day. The internet pieced together a pattern. Clip after clip painted Ostapenko as a player who crumbles and throws tantrums whenever things don't go her way. And trust, social media was not letting that slide.
I actually spoke to Alena after the match, but during our conversation, I didn't know what happened. And well, I have to say that she's nice, you know? She just sometimes can lose control.
Then right when the storm was at its peak, Ostapenko tried damage control, dropping a so-called apology on Instagram. But instead of taking real accountability, it sounded like a carefully polished PR script meant to soften the blow. She wrote, "I want to apologize for some of the things I said during my second-round singles match. English is not my native language. So when I said education, I was speaking only about what I believe is tennis etiquette." The problem? Nobody bought it. Fans instantly dragged the half apology as a weak dodge, blaming a language barrier instead of owning up. The talk online was brutal. People said she wasn't sorry for the insult, just sorry she got caught on camera saying it. Screenshots of her post went viral on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, all with captions ripping her for being fake, and the backlash only grew louder. Ostapenko's apology ended with the predictable PR spin. "I understand how the words I used could have offended many people beyond the tennis court. I appreciate the support as I continue to learn and grow as a person and a tennis player." Cute, right? But Taylor Townsend? She wasn't fazed one bit when reporters asked her about that apology. Taylor brushed it off with the smoothest shrug, saying she hadn't even seen the apology because she was too busy focusing on winning. That's how you know she wasn't about to give Ostapenko an ounce of power over her shine. And the best part? Taylor didn't just dismiss the drama. She slipped in shade without even trying. That quiet confidence, that effortless clapback without raising her voice, is exactly what made her glow in this whole mess. While Ostapenko was scrambling to patch up her image, Taylor was out here shining like nothing could touch her. But just when everyone thought the drama couldn't get any juicier, Serena Williams decided to stir the pot in her own playful way. Fans immediately remembered that viral TikTok Serena made about Venus teaming up with Leylah Fernandez instead of her. And yes, Serena was being petty on purpose. She captioned it, "When you see your sister at Venus Williams has a new doubles partner at Leylah Annie Fernandez, and you are really happy she's winning with someone else." Classic Serena, funny, shady, and just a little too relatable. Sure, Venus and Serena will always be ride or die close, but that TikTok had fans cracking up because it showed even legends get salty when their sister links up with somebody new. Social media ate it up, flipping it into yet another messy layer stacked on top of this already explosive storyline. Playful or not, Serena's TikTok proved one thing loud and clear. She still tuned into every ounce of US Open drama, even while living the good life in retirement. But zooming out, the bigger picture goes way back to the 90s, when the Williams sisters were dragged for literally everything. Serena was branded angry just for showing emotion. Venus was painted as cold simply because she kept to herself. Meanwhile, Hingis and Sharapova were celebrated as graceful, praised for the same qualities Serena and Venus were punished for. Their bodies, their game, even their facial expressions were picked apart nonstop. And for years, the sisters carried that weight completely alone. Fast forward to 2025, and the landscape looks completely different. It's no longer just one or two black women carrying the weight of stereotypes. It's an entire squad. Coco Gauff, Madison Keys, Sloane Stephens, Naomi Osaka, Alicia Parks, and now Taylor Townsend. A powerhouse lineup, shoulder to shoulder, all ready to have each other's backs. So when Ostapenko decided to throw shade at Taylor, she wasn't just firing shots at one player, she was stepping straight into the ring against an army. But here's the twist. Fans started noticing something strange. Serena Williams staying quiet on this specific drama, and that silence? People found it awkward, especially since Taylor herself gave Serena her flowers in the most heartfelt way years ago. Back in 2022, Taylor posted on Instagram, "All I can say is thank you. Thank you for inspiring me to see that a dream that felt unimaginable was possible. Thank you for leading by example and showing how to deal with struggles, criticism, and adversity while the world is watching. I can go on, but I cannot wait to see what your next chapter brings." That message wasn't just sweet, it was emotional, raw, and proved how much Serena meant to Taylor's entire journey. So now fans are side-eyeing and asking, why hasn't Serena stepped in louder? Especially when Taylor is literally facing the exact same battle she once fought in the spotlight. We love Serena forever, but while she's keeping it low-key, the rest of the tennis world is cranking the volume all the way up. Shannon Sharp already went in on Ostapenko during his broadcast, dragging her from start to finish with zero hesitation. His rant spread like wildfire online, and people were cheering him on for saying exactly what everyone else was thinking. Meanwhile, the media has completely flipped the script on Ostapenko. What should have been remembered as her career-defining tournament is now buried under tantrums, disrespect, and racially loaded shade. The headlines aren't about her tennis anymore. They're about her meltdowns, and slowly but surely, her whole brand is crumbling right in front of our eyes. But here's the twist. Ostapenko thought she was tearing down Taylor Townsend, but instead she sparked a movement. Taylor's not just walking away with a win, she's walking with the torch now. Venus has already stepped in to show her support. Serena's watching closely from the sidelines, and this new squad of black women in tennis has never looked stronger. This isn't just about one ugly comment, it's about unity, legacy, and a generation demanding the respect that tennis has tried to deny for far too long. And let's be real, if you think this is the end of the drama, you're mistaken. Tennis just got a taste of its own revolution, and the next scandal, oh, it's already loading. And the world is waiting to see who gets exposed next. So if you love this breakdown, make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment, share this video, and of course, subscribe for more. And I'll catch you on the next one.